everyone. Good morning. I don't think my microphone's on. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Whoa, now it's really on. Good morning, everybody. My name is Reverend Emily Bruce. I'm the minister here at First Parish in Kingston. Welcome, all of you, whether this is your first time or your 1000th time or somewhere in between. You are welcome to be with us this morning, and we are grateful for your presence among us. As Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith, a faith that every single person is inherently worthy of love, a faith that what we do in and for this world really matters, and a faith that we are connected by an interdependent web of existence to each other and to our earth. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, please know that you are welcome with us this morning. In a moment, Tom Agello, who's our worship associate, will lead us in lighting our chalice, but as always, I do have a few brief announcements. First of all, today, after church in the Beale House, we're going to be hosting a free estate planning workshop. Ashley Evers, who is here somewhere. Ashley, raise your hand. There she is. Thank you. Ashley Evers is an attorney who specializes in estate law, and she will be leading an hour of questions and more questions and information for all of you. So whether or not you actually signed up, you're all welcome to attend. It's going to be in the Beale House right towards the end of coffee hour. We'll get started. So I hope you can come. Next Sunday, two things. First of all, next Sunday is Music Sunday, so get excited about that. Also, after worship next Sunday, Joan Thompson-Stein and I will be leading a worship associate orientation right here in the meeting house after worship. So if being a worship associate is something that interests you or something you want to learn more about, I hope you'll come join us. We'll talk through what the duties are, how it works, and then you can decide if that's something you want to do, and I hope you will. So that's next Sunday after church. Finally, coming up on Saturday, June 8th, Beth Kelly will be leading a tour of the historic Fairhaven UU Church. Some of you know how beautiful that building is, and she was a member there for many, many years. So if you're interested in joining that Saturday, June 8th, the cost is a $25 donation that will be split equally between us and the Fairhaven Church. And there's more information and a sign-up sheet at Info Island during coffee hours. I hope you will join us for that. Now, I invite you all to join me in taking a deep breath in and out. Silence your cell phones. If you're holding something in your hand, maybe put it down. Get comfortable in your seat. Release your jaw and your shoulders and your back, all those places that you've been carrying tension throughout this week. Let it go and take another deep breath in and out. Let your mind and your heart and your soul relax in this space with us as we worship together for the next hour. Tom will lead us in lighting our chalice.
Good morning. My name is Tom Agello, and I'm a member of the governing board and of the music committee and the choir. I use he, him pronouns. This morning we light our chalice with these words by Reverend Suzelle Lynch. Our community is filled with beauty. When you open the door to greet me, that's where the beauty begins. When you share with me what's important to you, beauty is there as I listen. When we join hands to practice compassion, beauty's heart blooms like a flower. When we teach or learn or work for justice, beauty abounding sparks joy in all. Let's light the chalice for beauty now. The beauty we seek, the beauty we share, the beauty we nurture together. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for our opening hymn, number 360. Here we have gathered in the gray hymnal, number 360.
Here we have gathered past autumn, some of you may remember, we officially welcomed 7 children and youth into our church community with a joyous child dedication ceremony. But it was supposed to be 8 children. Due to a very ill-timed cold, Ada Volker was unable to be here with us that Sunday, so we are excited to rectify that today. So at this time, I invite Ben and Aki and Ada with your family to come forward. As we take this time today to dedicate ourselves and each other to the care and tending of the children in our midst, we recognize all who have gathered here over the centuries, and also those who are away from us right now in distance and in time. So we honor the ancestors who have left this world, but not our hearts, and especially the many, many generations of families that are part of the history of this beloved congregation, and we welcome their spirits into this space.
In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, a dedication is not just a blessing from the church to the child. It is about all of us together acknowledging how the friendship and support of a church community can make such a difference in a life. So, before Reverend Emily provides her blessing, we're going to ask you all here today to pledge yourselves to the care of this child. First, to Ada's family. Ada is a symbol of hope and joy and love. Will you dedicate yourselves to her care, knowing this is lifelong work you will be involved in? Will you promise to offer her your honesty, your enthusiasm for the path she chooses, and your guidance as she grows in this world? If so, please answer, we will. We will. Members of the First Parish community here today, in welcoming and dedicating Ada, you acknowledge your role as guides, teachers, and friends. Will you pledge yourselves to her well-being? Will you help her family raise her to live with compassion? Will you work for a peaceful, just, and sustainable world that she might grow to the fullness of her potential? Will you enthusiastically welcome her as a unique and precious individual that she might know this congregation as a place where she is accepted, known, encouraged, and loved? If so, please answer, we will. We will. Yeah, come.
So, let us now join in this sacred moment together while we offer a blessing to Ada. I'm going to ask you to step a little bit closer. I'm going to balance that too and not spill. Hi, Ada. Hi. So, this is a flower made from the earth, and my prayer is that through it you will know beauty. And with this water, which is from our water communion ritual, I bless your forehead so that you may think with compassion. I bless your mouth so that you will learn to speak the truth. Yep, you can eat it a little bit, that's okay. And I bless your hands so that you, come here, so that you may act in service to our world. And this is for you. Let us welcome Ada Volker to the family of this congregation. And will you all please now join me in prayer. Spirit of life, God of many names and one abundant and transforming love, may your continual blessing be upon this child throughout all her days. We ask that her life be lighted by the truth, that she always feels the love that surrounds her, and that humanity may be blessed by her presence. May it be so, and amen. All right. Yay. Thank you. Congratulations. Oh, we also have a gift. We have a gift, as we always do, which is Ada now owns her very own UU chalice with an electric tea light candle, so she can light it whenever she wants. Thank you both. Thank you, everyone.
Today's reading is called Why I Make Sam Go to Church. And it's by a woman named Anne Lamott, and she describes in this brief essay her struggles with getting her son Sam to go to church with her. This is a place called St. Andrew. Sam is the only kid he knows who goes to church, who is made to go to church 2 or 3 times a month. He rarely wants to. No, that's not exactly true. The truth is he never wants to go. All that matters to him is that he alone, among his colleagues, is forced to spend Sunday morning in church. You might think, noting the bitterness, the resignation, that he was being made to sit through a 6-hour Latin Mass. You might wonder why I make this strapping, exuberant boy come with me most weeks. And if you were to ask, this is what I would say: I make him because I can. I outweigh him by nearly 75 pounds. But that's only part of it. The main reason is that I want to give him what I found in the world, which is to say, a path and a little light to see by. Most of the people I know who have what I want, which is to say purpose, heart, balance, gratitude, joy, are people with a deep sense of spirituality. They are people in community who pray or practice their faith. They are Buddhists, Jews, Christians, people banding together to work on themselves and for human rights. Yes, they follow a brighter light than the glimmer of their own candle. They are part of something beautiful. I saw something once from the Jewish Theological Seminary that said, a human life is like a single letter of the alphabet. It can be meaningless, or it can be part of a great meaning. Our funky little church is filled with people who are working for peace and freedom, who are out there on the streets and inside praying, and they are home writing letters. And they are at the shelters with giant platters of food. When I was at the end of my rope, the people at St. Andrew tied a knot in it for me, and they helped me hold on. The church became my home in the old meaning of home, that it's where when you show up, they have to let you in. They let me in. They even said, "You come back now." When we give, we say yes to something we value. In this congregation, we take up an offering each week to say yes to the values of our UU faith and yes to this beloved community. Please give as you are able, and today's offering will be gratefully received. Our offering anthem is "We Shall Be Known" by Mammoose.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round attendees fast. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change of life from deep within the earth. shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these hearts. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.
One of my favorites. Thank you, choir. Thank you. So, as we prepare for what might be called the main event of this service, welcoming our new members, no offense, Ada and Ben and Aki. But as we prepare to do that ritual together, which we do at this time of year, every year, I've been thinking a lot about what message I want to offer to our new members, but also to all of us this morning. I spend a lot of time up here talking about why this church matters and how in this isolated and fractured culture of ours, it's really important to find and cultivate spaces of belonging, spaces of community care and support, which is what we do so well here. So while I spend a lot of time talking about the benefits of church, I don't often touch on what might be the wrong reasons to join a church community. Because this church will definitely meet you where you are and welcome you, but it won't give you everything that you think you may be looking for. And spoiler alert, that's a good thing. So let me explain a little bit more with this totally subjective top 10 list, which is in a somewhat intentional order. So these are the top 10 reasons not to be a member of this church community. Number 10. You're looking to entirely escape the problems, the division, and the general horribleness of the world. Church is not meant to be an escape from the world. Rather, it is a doorway through which we can use the lens of our values and our morals that we hold as essential and foundational to see the world and its problems. Here we can look at the problems of the world together, we can try to understand them, and this is the most important part, together we help each other face them. We're not here to run away. We're here to join each other in engaging with the world. Number 9, you believe religion and spirituality have absolutely no connection with the public square and the political issues of our time. Now, of course, just full disclosure, we do not get into the business of supporting specific candidates here. We cannot do that. We will not ever do that. But we do seek justice that is related to our values, supporting reproductive freedom, protecting the earth from further degradation, standing up for human rights for people regardless of economic status, immigrant status, physical and mental ability, gender identity, skin color, and every other descriptor under the sun that is used to dehumanize and oppress people in our world. We cannot ignore that interdependent web of existence. It reminds us continually that our fates are inextricably intertwined with the lives and the livelihoods of every other living thing on this planet. So our values and our morals, they've got everything to do with the public square as we commit ourselves to the work of helping create a world of justice and peace. Number 8, you believe that only some people are worthy of help and love. This is a hard one because there are some people doing some very truly terrible things in our world right now. But our first principle teaches us to respect the inherent worth and dignity of every person. That means everyone. Everyone. Now, does it mean people can't be held accountable for their behavior? Of course not. Does it mean that people shouldn't face the consequences for their actions? Not one bit. But I do not believe that we can divide people into good and bad and just call it a day. Everyone is capable of being redeemed. Everyone has the opportunity to change. Yes, even those terrible people that you're thinking about in your head right now. I know you all. I can guess more than half the room is probably thinking about the same person, but I'm not going to go there. Everyone is capable of being redeemed. They may never take advantage of the opportunity to do so, which is their choice, but our universalist heritage teaches us that the opportunity is always, always there. Being here means seeing, especially when it's really hard, that every single person has inherent worth and dignity. Number 7, you think your beliefs are the only right ones. Now, we all think the world would be a better place if everyone just agreed with us, right? I know that. I think that a lot too. I'll admit it. I fall into that trap. But if you've really somehow convinced yourself that the things that you believe, or maybe don't believe in, are the only right answer for all people everywhere, this is likely not the place for you. I'm afraid to say it. Here, diversity of thought and belief is not merely tolerated, but it is encouraged. It is encouraged. The wealth of truth that is available from all the sacred texts of life, and I include religious texts, philosophy, science, the natural world, all of those show us that the diversity is the point. It is the point. The different views and ideas and expressions of self are by design. Maybe intelligent design, maybe not, but that's exactly the point. Okay. Number 6. On the flip side of that, if you're here hoping someone will tell you what the right beliefs are, you're also likely not in the right place, because we are all on our own individual searches for truth and meaning here. That means we can support each other, we can share our beliefs and ideas, but each of us is responsible of doing the work of figuring our own selves out, each of us. And it's a lifelong process. I will never get to the point where I can definitively say, okay, I believe this is true, this is my belief, it's static, it will never change, and I'm done. I will never, ever, ever say that. The story of all of our lives, in fact, the story of the entire universe and everything in it, is one of continual evolution, a process of unfolding and becoming that doesn't truly end until we die. And actually, maybe it doesn't even end there, because we don't know what happens after death. None of us really knows. So if you're here with way more questions than answers, that's great. We love the questions. Let us walk that path with you and help you do your own work of figuring out what you believe. Number 5, you hate food, hugs, laughter, or having silly, silly fun. Now, I'd like to think you wouldn't have gotten this far with us if this were true, but really, if you can't find some ways to laugh at the absurdity of life, if you can't find the incredible good of tucking into a plate of at least 5 different kinds of lasagna, if you can't relish the astonishing creativity of an evening of talent show singing, dancing, joke-telling, magic tricks, and other wonderful forms of creativity, well, we might not be the church for you. Number 4, you're not willing to have your mind changed. This is a companion to number 7, which was thinking that your beliefs are the only right ones. But this is actually bigger than belief. If you find it tiresome to engage in conversation where you have to consider the differing opinions of other people, if you shake your head or roll your eyes at the thought of considering a viewpoint that might be slightly different than yours, if your stomach churns with anger at the thought of a congregational vote that does not go the way you want it to, well, I'm here to say that you're likely in for disappointment. We're not all here because we agree on everything. We're here because we believe in the democratic process. If we disagree, let's talk about it. Let's find a way forward. That's the point. And that point involves accepting the fact that sometimes your mind can and maybe should be changed. Number 3, you don't like showing up to help other people. Again, I would hope that you wouldn't get this far with us without Hardy, if that were true. But I would argue that the single most important part of belonging to a community of people is that we're always willing to help those in need. Because it's the right thing to do and because none of us can do this alone. Tomorrow you might be the person who needs the help, and wouldn't you be grateful when others step up to help you? This world is getting harder and harder, and our resources are getting scarcer and scarcer. And what I know to be true is that people who don't have communities of care like this one to lean on when they need it are in a far more precarious place. They really are. Each of us has to play a part in making this community as strong as it is, and that starts with showing up when other people need us, because we know and believe that they will show up for us too. Number 2, you think UUs can just believe whatever they want, it doesn't matter, who cares? You might be thinking, what's wrong with believing whatever we want? Isn't freedom of belief foundational to our faith? Yes, it is. It is a great thing to be able to follow our own searches for truth and meaning, especially those of us who were raised in faith traditions that had very rigid and perhaps unbelievable theologies that we were forced to accept under threat of damnation or suffering or hell. But there's a huge but here. Declaring that we can pick and choose our beliefs without consequence makes Unitarian Universalism just sound like a big grab bag of random spirituality, right? And honestly, it makes us sound like a bunch of flakes. This is my opinion. Feel free to disagree. But if you can believe anything you want, if that is the metric here, then what is stopping someone from believing that Hitler was the Messiah? Or cherry-picking Bible verses that uphold slavery or the degradation of women? That's why our 4th principle upholds a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. My colleague, Suzelle Lynch, answers this question, which ministers get a lot, I will say, answers this question in a way I like, saying, quote, while we UUs give ourselves a lot of theological freedom, we don't take it lightly. We hone and test our beliefs with our heads and our hearts and our heritage and our life experience. So we are free and we are flexible, but we are not flaky. And finally, the number one reason not to be a member of this church. You think just sitting in the pews on Sunday morning will make you a better person. Here we believe that faith ultimately is lived out in our daily lives in our world. We don't have creeds here, we don't have dogma, but we do work on how our lives hold up to the values that we say we believe in, most especially love. So if you really only want to be a UU for 1 hour a week while you're sitting in this meeting house, I'm going to need to ask you to investigate that. How do the values of generosity and equity and interdependence play out in your day-to-day life, in the ways that you're able to help others, in the ways you're able to be kind, to make choices that don't harm others, and try not to harm the life of our planet? Because if you're just in it for Sunday morning, we might not be the church for you. So now that you've heard that list, if anybody wants to run for the door, now's your chance. And I'm sure some of the current members are adding to that list or amending that list in their head. Yay, diversity of belief, that's what it's all about. But I'm happy to say that it's officially time to welcome our newest members into our community. So, today is an exciting day. This morning we are welcoming 8 new members into our church community by having them sign our membership book. There's an insert in your order of service that you're all going to need, so get that ready. And I'd like to invite these 8 folks to come up along with our fellowship committee as I read their names aloud. So our newer members are Nate Bishop, Hannah Blaze, Lauren Pierce Coleman, Ann Hart Davies, Beth Kelly, Christine Marano, Ben Volker, and Aki Volker. Please come forward. Also, I want to just make it known that go ahead, come on forward. There are 3 other folks who are planning to join, but they could not be with us today, and that is Donna Apple, Chris Johnson, and Jennifer Batson. So I will be making arrangements with them at another time so that they can sign the book. Come on forward, everybody. All right. I'll stand here. Okay, here we go. We gather this morning to welcome those who wish to make First Parish Church Kingston their spiritual home. Those becoming members today have been attending services and programs. They have learned about our history, our theology, and our governance and of this church and Unitarian Universalism, and have given some thoughtful consideration to their involvement here. Fellowship Committee?
And spiritual freedom. You commit not only to your own spiritual growth, but also to affirm the spiritual growth of others who share this path. We are a church community that is bound by our covenant with each other rather than by any expectation of belief. By this action today, you freely join your lives with ours, promising your time, your talents, and your treasure to this church and to the Unitarian Universalist faith that we love. Welcome.
Thank you. And now I'm going to invite each of you one by one to come forward and sign the book. So, right there, if that's okay. Hold on, let me get ready. There we go. All right. So here's the pen. You're going to sign, write your name, and then date it. It's the 28th. A little music while we do this. The Fellowship Committee has some swag bags and some flowers that they're going to give out because, you know, swag is important on a moment like this. Very important. Thank you, Fellowship Committee. And now I invite all of our current members that are present to read the welcome that is in the insert in your order of service. It is with joy that we welcome you and affirm your decision to join your spiritual journey with ours in this congregation. We pledge to support you in your search for truth, to celebrate with you in times of joy, to help you in times of struggle, and to join with you in rightful action. We commit to challenge and sustain you in your spiritual growth as you strive to live your highest ideals. And new members, if you will read together from the order of service. And now let us all say together, in our shared lives together at First Parish Church, Kingston, may we become more effective instruments of service, voices for justice, peace, reason, and compassion, and a community that honors life in all its diversity. May our common ministries be fruitful. May our commitment, our presence, and our love endure. Amen. Hooray, and please join me once again in welcoming our new members. Thank you all. You may be seated. We also want to take this opportunity, as we do every year, to celebrate some of our longest serving members. So as we invite our new folks into the fold, it seems right and fitting that we honor those who have been nurturing the life of this congregation the longest. So if you've been a member for at least 5 years here, would you please rise in body or in spirit? At least 5 years. Okay, that's pretty good. You've been a member for 5 years or more? If you've been a member of 10 years or longer, stay standing, otherwise you can sit down. 10 years or more, all right. 20 years? Ooh. 30 years? 40 years? Wow. Anyone been a member for 50 years? I knew it would be you, Lil. I knew it would be you. Thank you. You can be seated. Thank you. On behalf of the generations of families who've pastored this congregation, on behalf of the many ministers who have served this congregation, and on behalf of the many lives that have been touched by the people in this congregation, thank you. Thank you, each of you, for the precious role that you've played in the life of this congregation. Well done. Let's give us all ourselves a round of applause. Oh, that's right. How long? How long do you think, Bud? As long as you? Okay. All right, well, everyone, when you go to coffee hour, ask Bud Loring how long he's been a member and clap for him too, okay? I now invite you all to rise in body and spirit for our closing hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. As we extinguish our chalice, may we rejoice in our belonging to this community and commit ourselves every day to the work of peace and justice and love together. Go in peace and come to coffee hour. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Oh, thanks, Bob.